Today by a man who knows everything about Leinster Club Rugby, Dermot O'Mahony. How are you?
Thanks for that, Kieran. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Kildare. They had a big day yesterday with the round robin semi-finals, and today we have the Towns Cup semi-finals here, and two great games in prospect. Tullow and Athy. Tullow the holders, of course, and Athy 5 times winners, but it's 1984 since they last won. So it promises to be a great game. They had two great ties when they played each other in the league. The last one decided late on with a Tullow win, but could go either way today.
We'll run through the teams very quickly for you. For the champions, they have plenty of winning pedigree. Scott Calbeck is the captain in the front row, and they've got plenty of weight in the pack. Martin Cole in the second row and Stevie Smith at number 8. He adds to that. Gareth Fitzgerald is the magic man at scrum half, while Peter Burgess will run the attack from 10. Australian Ryan Jordan plays his first Towns Cup semi-final, and Jack Hanlon has an eye for the try line on the wing. If we go through a tie, they have plenty of great players as well. Leinster and Irish underage hooker Niall O'Hanlon starts at hooker, while Kevin Downey and Tom Brady make up the engine room. The back row is made up of grit and hard work, led by Captain Tyke Foley. In the backs, Coolan Carberry supports the experienced Craig Miller, and schoolboy Dara Farrell has been the shining light in the Athy attack. He has school in the morning, but he has rugby today, while Aidan Henry offers gas from the backs. So it's a great day here, brilliant weather. No place you'd rather be on a Sunday.
It's a perfect place to be, Kieran, and just going through looking at those team sheets, it's interesting that Coolan Carberry is scrum half for Athy, while his brother Joey is playing for Bordeaux at the moment, and the last I saw was Bordeaux were leading Ulster 28-14 at half time.
Does anyone know where Joey Senior is today?
I don't. maybe one member in Bordeaux and somebody else here.
Split the allegiance.
That's it. So I think we're waiting on Athy to come out, are we?
Is this a bit of mind games getting inside Tullow's head?
Hard place to get. Hard place to get.
But the Tullow scrum is something that's been talked about so much in the lead up to this game.
Yeah, no, it's a powerful weapon, there's no doubt about it, and their pack has been the bottom, or the nucleus, I should say, of their success over the last couple of years.
They make big boys in Tullow.
They sure do.
Brendan, we're in orange.
Yeah, so they're going for 3 in a row today. Well, not today, but this year. So it's a while since there's been any sort of success like that. I suppose we have to go back to the great Carlow team of the 90s for a team that enjoyed such success as Tullow are enjoying now. So
you might give out to me for putting you on the spot like this, but who do you think is going to come out on top in these two semi-finals?
I honestly don't know. I really don't. I mean, I ran Tullow very, very close the last time. They ran into a big lead early, and excuse me, Tullow hauled them back. Maybe the hot day might suit a tie better. So if you're going to force me to go one way or the other, I'm going to sort of edge for the tie.
You're going for the underdogs.
My predictions are normally wrong, so that's for me. Ensures Tullow will win.
Tullow, all of their Towns Cups have come in the last 10 years, of course.
Yeah, no, they're recent additions to the Roll of Honour, and as I say that, I see Athy running onto the pitch, so we're 1 minute away from the action, so hopefully it'll be a cracker of a game.
Towns Cup, the purest rugby you'll get. It's tribal, it means everything to the people. Semi-final day here, and we're about to get underway.
The referee's taking the position. They're going through the last little exercises with the tackle bags on the far side. So yes, we're all set to go here in Kildare for the semi-final.
And Ewan O'Riordan is the man in the middle today. Who looks after Leinster's Twitter when you're here, Dermot? The results?
They're put on hold for a little while.
And it will be the Athy number 10 to get us underway, Craig Miller, formerly of Old Wesley Rugby Club. And we're underway. Tullow take it in. A lot of talk around Gareth Fitzgerald coming into this game. He's a real talisman for the Tullow team. They go for the exit early on. A chance for Aidan Henry to stretch his legs early on. Was with Trinity last season, came back to a tie this year. Number 8 Foley getting his first carry, the captain. This is good rugby from a tie. But it looks like Tullow have got hands on that one. Jack Hanlon. That's a brilliant steal from him.
Yeah, excellent, because Athy were trying to get the ball away in the tackle, but excellent work by Tullow to defend that and come away with the turnover. So the first scrum of the game for Tullow. So let's see how this shapes up.
In my pre-match research, I really noted that this is a game of forwards versus backs.
Yeah, well, this should be a case in point here. Let's see if your theory holds up here. First scrum, Tullow with the feed.
A real area of strength for Tullow. Gareth Fitzgerald has played Leinster and Irish underage. He feeds, but the tie put the pressure on. But Tullow get the early penalty, and as I was saying, Tullow flexing their muscles early on.
Yes, they're certainly showing who's boss at scrum time, and it's no surprise that they win the penalty. Ty tried to get a nudge on the far side, but Tullow came around this side, and the referee rewards Tullow.
And Burgess knocks that one into touch, and a chance for Tullow to get their first real attack.
Let's go.
Let's see how the line out is. The scrum was good. Will the line out be the same? That's a good throw. They go to the maul early on. Culleton has it at the back. They're making the meters, but they're going to take it out now. MacDonald. But Athy have jumped on that one. They could get out of trouble here, but that's a sloppy pass. James Sheedy under all sorts of pressure. And Miller swings the leg at it. Tullow can run it back here. Burgess swings it over the top to his fullback and his brother, but now Athy are on the move. They could go all the way here. Aidan Henry, nobody's going to stop him. And what a try for Athy, out of nothing. Defence into attack.
It was fantastic work by Henry on the far side. He batted the ball up in the air, half blocked it, and then was athletic enough and agile enough to catch the ball before it came to ground. And he ran in pretty much. His speed just took him away from the Tullow defence, and all of a sudden it's 5-0 for the underdogs.
Something out of nothing.
Absolutely.
But exactly the start that Athy would have wanted to make. The kick is good, and 7-0 the score.
Wow, great start, 5 minutes gone, and Athy pretty much, I suppose, against the run of play. and the conversion was good. It was kicked by Dara Farrell, I think, and it's 7-0 for Athy. So what sort of response will we get now from the holders?
But we were talking off air, like this happened when Athy and Tullow met each other just last month. Athy raced into an early lead, 14-0 I think it was at one point, but Tullow did drag it back that day. And the big man takes it up. It's tapped on. This is really good play from Athy. Comfortable to put it through the hands. But as I say that, the touchline stops them.
Yeah, the touchline was Tullow's best defender there. They certainly, Athy looked dangerous with the ball going through the hands. They set it up well. Made about, maybe 20-30 metres from their own 22. They've lined it now to Tullow on the 10-metre line of Athy.
As you were saying though, the conditions could really help Athy's game here today. They want to play with the ball. They want to play it to space. That's a good take at the line out from McDonald. Here's the big man Smith, like a steam train. And Tullow are getting moving. Burgess. But Henry got his hand in there, illegally so, and he could be in trouble.
Yeah, he's been penalised for a deliberate knock-on. The referee has to have a word with somebody here. I'm not sure if it's going to be a card or not, but it was certainly a deliberate knock-on, and he's going to have a word with his assistant referee, Robbie O'Flynn, on this side.
What would you do in this situation? I love putting you on the spot like that.
I leave it to the experts on the field.
Two Burgess brothers playing together as well.
I think we have a card coming up, have we?
Go. Go.
Aidan Henry, hero to villain.
Oh, wow, okay. This is a chance for Tullow to get back in the game with 10 minutes now with the extra man. Can they make it pay?
They're going to go straight down that line. Lineouts are meat and drink to Tullow, and they'll be looking to go to the maul. But they have to hit their dart first. Here comes the maul. Edging forward. Almost there. And it's a clinical set piece. That's pure Tullow. And they respond back straight away.
Yeah, excellent piece of rugby by Tullow. They won the line out, went to the ball, and just navigated their way to the line. And yeah, it's 7-5 with a chance to equalise. I'm not sure who got the touchdown.
So that early score cancelled out straight away.
Yeah, as you say, hero to villain in a matter of minutes for Aidan Henry. Opportunist try, and now he gave away the penalty, got a yellow card, and that led to the line out 5 metres from the line, which Tullow clinically scored off.
And Burgess is good from the tee, and it's a level game here.
Yeah, that was a quick response and a clinical response by Tullow.
Classic Tullow.
Absolutely.
Both teams very up for this. I was talking to the time man yesterday. He said Tullow knocking them out in the last 2 Towns Cups is something they still think about. Hanlon. They're going to go to the boot.
It's not gone. Come on, Dan. It's gone.
Foley, the captain, primed and ready. Athy will look to move it here. Siabanu with the carry, the Romanian. Miller takes it on himself. They go down this short side. Still going.
Watch it, Jack.
But they knock on. But the intent is there from Athy.
Yeah, you can see it was some great play by Athy to don't forget they're a man down, and they used their men well in this. They had very good possession, and they engineered space and ran into that space, and I suppose they made a good 20 metres or so, but unfortunately for them they knocked it on then. So another scrum for Tullow.
Two talented scrum halves going up against each other today as well.
Yeah, two very good scrum halves, yeah.
I've been told though Cullen's played a lot of fullback this season. And now look at that from Athy, putting the pressure on, but Tullow get it out of there and they get it away. That's pretty rare, you don't see that very often.
That was fantastic scrum by Athy. I kind of thought they were going to get rewarded with a penalty, but I suppose the referee saw the ball coming out of the back of the scrum, and he waved play on, and yeah, but it was fantastic to watch that from Athy. I wasn't expecting that.
I reckon if the ball was in there for one more second, the penalty might have came the way of Athy.
For sure, yeah.
Good take at the line out. It's hard to get them all going against this sort of team though. They're making it very messy. They have to use it. Hands on Smith. And he's stolen it for Tullow, the experienced man. Comes up with it. Now Tullow could launch a counter-attack here. Now Tullow are looking to move quickly. Burgess, nice short pass. A ferocious battle going on at the breakdown. Burgess kicks it through, straight into the hands of Miller, his opposite number. And Miller shows him how it's done, but the ball just slips out of his grasp. And Craig Miller reeling back the years there with that move.
That was a fantastic bit of skill by Miller. A lovely kick, bounced favoured him. He gathered it, and then it looked like he was gone, but the Tullow defender got his hand in to knock the ball loose, and it was a knock on. It's going to be a scrum for Tullow, so it's going to be interesting what happens here after the last scrum.
It's a bit helter-skelter so far.
Yeah, but you wonder here this scrum. I mean, the first scrum was very dominant for Tullow. The last one, Athy really got stuck into them, so you just wonder will Tullow sort of focus on this one and say, okay, it's ours. We're not going to let you budge us again.
I'll let you do all the scrum talk. I wouldn't have made a good prop.
I wasn't a good prop. I can assure you. I just looked like a good prop.
And I know you were talking earlier to me about the last time Athy won the cup.
Yeah, like Athy last one in 1984, and it was a golden year for them, where they won it 3 times, having appeared in 5 finals over that sort of 5 or 6 year period, and they haven't been in a final since 1991 when they lost to Navan up in the Curragh. It was a very good Navan team that beat them up in the Curragh.
Before my time.
Good few years ago, yeah. They look like 30 odd years ago now. So.
But you're right, Tullow with a big response. You can beat us once, but it's very hard to beat them twice.
I would think that the previous scrum they maybe just went down expecting to go through the motions. This time they were focused.
That's a good touch finder as well.
And there's still about 2 minutes left on the sin bin, so can Tullow use this wing-man advantage for the next couple of minutes and get their noses in front.
Numbers up.
This time they don't go to the maul, they look to use it straight away. Here's Smith, like a battering ram. They try to put it through the hands, but it doesn't go to hand. And Athy get in their faces.
Get that wing, John. John, you're on.
Athy making their tackles, but they get the ball loose and into Burgess, but it's been knocked on. Good defence from Athy, forcing the mistake. Burgess just threw that 50-50 ball, didn't go to hand.
Yeah, Burgess, he made a good break, but unfortunately he wasn't able to maintain control of the ball as he went to ground. Knock on. Athy tried to run it out of the defence there, but they've knocked on as well, so we're going back for the original one, so it'll be a scrum to Athy.
Let's go, John. 2 more minutes on the yellow.
Sin bin is not quite over. I see Aidan Henry on the far side limbering up, waiting to be called back on. So it's still 14 against 15 for this scrum. It's Athy's first scrum, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Get it in and get it out might be the plan.
Back and left.
I think so, yeah.
And look at Tullow already going, but maybe a bit too early that time.
Going too early, so it's a free kick for Athy.
Too eager to put their foot on the accelerator. Almost through the opening quarter here, 7-7 the score. Burgess. Looks like Sheedy's on that ball. And Athy get the penalty. And James Sheedy was all over that one.
Yeah, Sheedy did remarkably well there. And I think Athy are taking a shot at goal, so they have a chance to nudge back in front before the sin bin ends. And I still see Aidan Henry on the far side waiting to re-enter proceedings, but it's going to be Dara Farrell with his attempt to put Athy back in front.
And Dara Farrell, his first year of senior rugby, only 18 years of age. He has school in the morning, but hopefully for him, he'll be hoping to be going to school as a Towns Cup final player. And straight through the posts, Athy back into the lead.
Yeah, it was sweetly struck by Farrell, so he brings his personal tally to 5 points. Conversion earlier in that penalty goal, and the sin bin is over, and Athy have maintained their lead. It's 10 points to 7. It's not the lead they had entering the sin bin period, but still 3 points to the good.
Not the worst return in the world when you're down to 14 men. But Tullow get it away. They've got hands on. Cole with the carry.
Nice work.
But look at that line speed. A big smash from Fennessy. Fennessy straight away, up like a lightning bolt.
Wow, it was like watching Leinster defend yesterday. I mean, he was up so quickly. The Tullow player had no chance, but the referee's going back for the original knock-on, which was by Tyg Foley in the tackle, and it's a scrum to Tullow just inside the thigh territory.
And there's a lot of Sheedies on the Athy team. Number 13, Tom Sheedy. His brother's with James Sheedy, and then they have their other brother John on the bench as well. So a big day out for the Sheedy family. Athy looking good in defence.
They've turned this over. James Sheedy again.
James Sheedy all over that ball again. Miller spots a bit of space, but he can't execute the kick, and Burgess will send it back. Or will he or won't he? No, he won't. Straight into the hands of Miller again. There was a hand in there.
Good call with the referee. The block meant that everybody from Athy was onside, but unfortunately for Athy then it was knocked forward. So it's a scrum again for Tullow. I'll just see the result from the Champions Cup from Bordeaux. Bordeaux won 43-31 against Ulster, which in fairness to Ulster was a decent effort. Nobody gave them a chance going over there, and I think, somebody can correct me on this, but I think Munster now play Bordeaux next weekend.
It was amazing the turnout of Munster fans yesterday in La Rochelle.
Fantastic, yeah, and it was a great result for them. I mean, and we know La Rochelle are in a bad run of form recently. They had lost, I think, there were 8 games without a win. They had 1 draw in the middle of that. But when they went into a quick lead, 7-0 early on, it looked ominous for Munster. But fair play to Munster. They stuck at their task. They tackled well. They took their chances, and they were deserving winners in the end. It was a cracking game.
Are we having a water break here because of the weather?
Looks like we are. Nobody told me about it. I only run the games, the competitions.
Where's our water break?
We'll be rewarded later. Yeah, and of course Leinster powered on to a very impressive win against what really can only be described as a very disappointing Harlequin side. 62 points to nothing.
Back out next Friday?
Friday night, I believe. Yeah, that should be confirmed later today. Friday night against Glasgow. Glasgow, of course, who they know well from their battles in the URC. Can expect that to be, won't be anything more like 62-0. Should be a good game.
And Leinster A are actually out at 3 o'clock before that game in Donnybrook against Connacht.
That's right, yeah. That was a game that was supposed to be played before Christmas, so it'll be good to see. I'm sure many of the guys who played down in South Africa and did so well for Leinster down in South Africa will feature. I mean, it was great to get a win against the Sharks. Very unlucky not to get a win against the Bulls. So it was an excellent trip down under for Leinster, for Leo and his team.
Fitzgerald putting the ball in. This is a chance for Tullow to work something. Athy, stay strong. Burgess goes through the gap. He's still going, change of direction, but he goes straight, and Burgess is going in for the try. Peter Burgess, he had his jet shoes on. He went through the gap, straight to the try line, and Tullow are back in front.
Scintillating piece of rugby by Burgess. Peter Burgess. There are a couple of Burgesses as well on the team, so I better get that right. So Peter Burgess, great break, got through the gap, and then got inside the 22 and had the gas to go around his man and make it 12 points to 10. And Burgess has a chance now to add the
Collect all
extras.
7. It's like a proper boxing match at the moment.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable.
You throw a shot and we'll hit back. And Tullow 14-10 to the good.
Yeah, so good fight back by Tullow there. Excellent try by Burgess, adds the extras, and we have about 26 minutes or thereabouts gone, and it's 14-10 for Tullow.
To go long from the kick out. The double hit from Athy. And look at the aggression in defence from Athy. Coming through that ruck. And they've won the ball back. And penalty advantage. And is that cynical?
Well, he was told to get back, and he did, and then he came again. So is the ref having a word with him? It looks to me like it's only a warning, not a card, but very lucky man.
They are pretty tight to that corner, so you'd expect them to go down the line.
I think so, yeah, I think so.
And Miller just pokes it in.
Just outside the 5-metre line, so let's see how effective they can be with their line out and driving ball, or will they have a driving ball?
It's hard to get a driving ball going against a team like Tullow. They go far to the back and they can't execute. Get out of trouble for Tullow. And where's that ball going to land? But we're going to come back for a scrum. And they were bold with that line out choice, the option they went for, but it just didn't come off.
Yeah, it wasn't executed well. The jumper was up long before the ball arrived where it was meant to arrive, and went over his fingers. Then they knocked it on, and it's a relieving scrum. At least you would think it's a relieving scrum for Tullow.
They love scrums.
You would expect them to win this, and if not get a penalty, at least clear their lines.
I think that's what young Tullow boys get from Santa Claus, scrum machines. But again, Athy fighting back, but the penalty goes the way of Tullow. And I'll let you break that one down, Dermot.
No, I'm not going to trust the ref in this one. Yeah, it was great pressure again by Tullow, but obviously they did something illegal. He seems to be indicating driving across, so he was much closer to the action. But yeah, that's the second time I thought he put pressure on a Tullow scrum.
It's probably a big talking point during the week on Tuesday and Thursday at training, how they were going to combat that scrum.
Well, they played them in the league and they've done well against them in the league, so I'm sure they have their ideas on how to do it, but certainly twice today they have caused Tullow problems.
29-29 they drew in November, and 34-25 Tullow won in the second game just last month. And only one place separating them on the table in Leinster League. Tullow finished in 5th. Or Tullow finished in 6th and Athy finished in 5th, I should say. And here's the young man, Farrell. Foley, the captain, nowhere to go.
Push, Tom, push! You're on, stay now!
Miller. Tullow looks set in defence at the moment. Miller works this short side. But they're in touch.
Yeah, both sides are defending very well. You have to admire the Tullow defence there. They were stretched initially over to this side and then across to the far side, and the line never broke. Might have bent a yard or two, but it never broke. Very good defending by Tullow.
Good take at the line out. And here comes the maul. Just creating the path maybe for the exit, or they might be waiting for a penalty. Fitzgerald takes it out. Burgess with the clearance.
Go, Ryan, go!
Bouncing all over the shop. He did well there, Fennessy. But Tullow have got it back, putting the pressure on and stealing the ball. And they go cross field now to Burgess, but he can't take it cleanly. Shouts of out of play from the Tullow fans, but now Athy get the penalty. It was from the Athy fans that were shouting, I should say. But that was a bit of madness there.
Yeah.
Ball bouncing everywhere.
Again, it was good work by Tullow to turn the ball over on the far side. Fennessy gathered a tricky bouncing ball, but Tullow were all over him like a rash, and they turned the ball over. And unfortunately, they weren't rewarded for their turnover. However, just look over the far side, Kieran, I see the touch judge on the far side having a chat with the referee, so I'm just wondering what's going on here.
It's very interesting though, the two teams are playing very different game plans. When Tullow get the ball, they look to slow it down and go through the forwards. When the Athy get it, they want to move it quickly.
Okay, so we're sticking with the penalty here. The referee saying no foul play. So whatever little discussion the referee and the touch judge on the far side had, they're going back to the original penalty, which was for holding on.
Probably about 10 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, maybe a bit less. Maybe I think we have about 7 or 8 possibly.
Niall O'Hanlon was playing his rugby in the AIL with Nace last season, the hooker. Can Athy make something happen? But that one jumps out of the hands from Miller. Straight back to Tullow. And now Tullow are away. Burgess looks to the support. And they're still going. And number 14 gets stopped inside the 22. But Tullow were dangerous there. Jack Hanlon thought he was away. And Athy get a huge relieving penalty.
It's a great scramble defence by Athy because they were all over the place there. It was, and I think the referee looks like he's being spoken back to because he's added on 10 metres. So yeah, it was a great break, I think, by Alan Burgess originally, and he slipped it out to the right hand side to Jack Hanlon, who cantered up that right wing deep into the 22. But just when we thought he might score, he was tackled by a scrambling Athy defence.
The Burgess breakers, they can break any line.
They've done it so far. They certainly have.
Really impressed with James Sheedy today for Athy. He's been working really hard at the breakdown.
He's doing great work at the breakdown, yeah, he sure is.
Miller engages his back line. Oh. And Athy still have it. And Dave Downey still going. They're just shy of the 22 now, Athy. Tullow coming steaming through. And I don't really know what happened there, but the penalty goes the way of Tullow. Stephen Smith.
Stephen Smith was Aidan Sheedy who was penalised for trying to handle the ball back on the ground. He was the one who gave an over-the-head pass to keep that move going before David Downey went flying up the wing. Sheedy was on hand to take the return pass, but he was tackled. Tullow were all over him, with Stephen Smith leading the charge. But Aidan Sheedy, unfortunately for him, tried to handle the ball back, and the referee penalised him for handling the ball to the ground. So we have a penalty to Tullow.
Looks like Aidan Henry got a knock as well in that process. And of course, we've got another game after this.
Yeah, we have the second semi-final, so we had a great day's rugby here in Kildare.
It's been a bit of a mad game so far. There's one break one way, another break another.
It could be survival of the fittest. I mean, it's very warm out there, top of the ground.
Or who can take their opportunities.
Now, Dan! Keep it simple, Dan! Watch the shot! Watch the
Hamilton has it at the back. Not really going anywhere. They're going to have to use it. But as I say that, they start moving a little bit. Fitzgerald to his centre. Rowan. Tullow coming around the corner. Full of power. But again, Athy at that breakdown. They're like hungry dogs.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to see. Sheedy was in the middle of it. I'm not sure if he was the one who actually got his hands on it, but he was there again, and he's causing Tullow loads of problems at the breakdown. But again, Steve Smith is the big man for Tullow. Every time he gets the ball, he drives forward. He takes 2 or 3 to take him down. But after he had been, his phase had ended, Tullow were driven back, and Athy got the turnover.
James Sheedy went to Newbridge College, was actually in the same year as Sam Prendergast, but he fell out of love with rugby for a little while. But when he came back to Athy, he started loving the sport again.
He's having a great game today, that's for sure.
Miller to the big man, eating up the defenders. Here's the older of the Sheedies in the centre. Here's James again, crawling for every metre.
Watch it, Peter!
Miller
Head up, John, head up!
pulling the strings.
John, head up!
Screams of high tackle. No, says the referee. Sheedy out the back. Lovely hands. And Brady brings them into the 22. Former Newbridge College captain. And they get it out. They could score here, Athy. Can they be clinical? Can they find the score? They go left, and it's going to be a try. A simple run in for their winger, Cathal Fennessy. But great build-up play from Athy. The Sheedies involved again.
Fantastic try by Athy. it began with a line out on the 10-metre line that Cool and Carberry did fierce well to pick the ball off his toes. Foley kept it going. They kept it going out here again. It was the winger David Downey who made the break after linking up with some of his forwards. Got to the 5, tackled, they moved it out, and again it was that fullback Aidan Henry who gave the last pass under pressure. Great hands by Henry, and it resulted in Cathal Fennessy going over in the corner. So that brings us, in my book, to half-time. But there could be a few injuries, stoppages.
You never know these rugby games, I always say.
So it's a 1-point lead for Athy, 15-14.
The 18-year-old can't add the extras, but Athy have the 1-point lead. He might get one more play in this half.
No, there was 1 or 2 injury stoppages, so I suppose the referee's going to play on. And yeah, so 15-14 as we go into first half injury time. And yeah, it's definitely an exciting game, all that we had hoped for.
Tom Brady, as I said, former Newbridge College captain, but he's actually S&C for Clongowes now. I thought that was sacrilegious.
Kildare rivals, huh?
A fair few of these Athy guys went to Newbridge College, actually. 1 or 2. All the Sheedies, and then Tom Brady as well.
Yeah, well, of course, Newbridge College is churning out good player after good player, and has been for many a year now.
That's you, Ryan. Over.
Maybe a contest for this kick. Athy get it, they clean it up.
Next phase, mate, next phase. Work, team, work.
They look to get it to touch, and that could bring us to half time.
Still playing on.
There's still a little bit left.
Good play by Aidan Henry to clear it to touch.
Great though, a young guy like Aidan Henry was in Trinity last year and he decided to come back to his home club.
A big boost for Athy. They've had a good season. So 4th in the league. They've been enjoying life in Division 1A following their promotion last year.
All 4 teams in the semi-final today all ply their trade in 1A of the Leinster League. Tullow looking for a score before the half-time break. And again, James Sheedy. Don't give him a bite because he'll take all of it. That's a brilliant kick. But Tullow with a brilliant clearance to match.
It's not a touch. Play on.
And now Athy running across the pitch.
It's the older Sheedy, Tom Sheedy.
Tom Sheedy bringing them up past halfway. And they've got a penalty advantage. And they could go for the sticks here. They go right. Miller, one over the top. They want the ball to be moved quickly here to the right. And Dave Downey has open road in front of him. And he might be about to score. Oh yes, he is. Dave Downey. Paul Fennessy got a try a couple of minutes ago for a tie. But Dave Downey gets himself on the score sheet. Tries for the winners. And Athy have made their lead even more healthier now heading into the halftime break.
Well, you would think it's heading into the halftime break now, but yeah, that was great work by David Downey. It was great work by Athy in general. Miller with a little chip over the top. They had advantage for an infringement just outside the 10-metre line. They moved the ball over to the right. Farrell got it quickly out to Downey. Downey went by his man and still had work to do, and he got to the goal line somehow, knocking players out of the way, got to the goal line and scored. And now all of a sudden it's 20 points to 14, and Farrell trying to make it a 2-score game with what I would think would be the last kick of the first half.
Third time lucky for us. And it has the legs, and that pushes it out to a 2-score game.
That's fantastic. I mean, 22-14. Farrell kicking really well. Unfortunately for Athy, I see they have a player getting treatment on the halfway line at the moment. But the referee is blown for half time, and it's 22 points to 14 in favour of the underdogs, Athy.
And we'll be back with you shortly for the second half.
You think would probably suit Athy now, but remains to be seen.
The ambulance is departing. We wish Tom all the best. Ewan O'Riordan will get us back underway. Burgess gets us restarted. That's an early knock on, and Tullow straight on the attack. Caution with the carry. Burgess looking to reduce the deficit straight away in this second half. Tullow. Using their forwards to good effect. Burgess pokes one through. Well taken though from Henry. He runs across the field, and Henry, he's got his fast boots on. He gets it away to his hooker O'Hanlon. Dave Downey got a try just before the halftime break. And Athy have numbers here, and they're going through the gap through James Sheedy. And James Sheedy, can he make it all the way? Yes he can. And James Sheedy, he's been the standout player for Athy today, and he gets a try. And that's proper rugby, coast to coast.
Oh, fantastic start to the second half for Athy, because Tullow were threatening, they were knocking on the line, and when Peter Burgess put the kick through, it was brilliantly gathered and run back by Aidan Henry. He ran across the field, which you're told not to do, but he saw that there was it was all forwards on the far side. He took them on, got up to his 10-metre line, was able to offload it to his hooker. They kept it going. They dragged the Tullow cover across to the far side. There was room here. They moved it very, very quickly. And when Sheedy got it, he headed for the line, got the touchdown, and now it's Dara Farrell with a chance to stretch the 27-14 lead by another 2 points.
It's a simple 2 for Farrell, and 29-14 the score, and not many could have predicted this.
Very few could have predicted this, and especially the way Tullow started the second half. They took advantage of a knock-on at the kickoff. They trundled up the park, and they looked like they were going to get some sort of reward. But Athy very, very quickly turned that on its head, and it's now a 15-point game. Big questions now of Tullow, can they come back?
All right.
But again, problems taking that kick down. Very similar to the second half restart.
Almost a replica of what happened a couple of minutes ago. Maybe the sun is causing a problem. Although it shouldn't really be, but yeah, actually it would be. The sun is, the ball would be coming out of the sun, so that could be the problem for the Athy jumpers. And we've just been told that the second game has been delayed until 4:15. So that's brought about by cause of the injury to Tom Brady, which is delayed the start of the second half here. So 4:15 kickoff for Carlow v County Carlow v Wicklow.
And Tullow, the pressure at the scrum. Fitzgerald not waiting around. He goes quickly, finds the support. They're on the doorstep. The second row takes it up. The substitute with his first touch, Fiach Byrne, but it's been knocked on. And again, the Athy defence standing strong.
Yeah, that's just typical of what's been happening today. That Athy defence, they were under pressure, but they defended their 5-metre line as if their lives depended on it, and they forced the mistake, the knock on by Tullow, and now they have a scrum under pressure still, but they have a scrum, and there's a little bit of that pressure relieved. Can they clear their lines now? Is the next question.
Coolan Carberry. Can he make it? A double win for the Carberries today.
At the moment, you'd fancy his chances.
And didn't you say that Munster will now be playing Bordeaux in that quarter-final?
Yeah, they will, yeah. So that'll be a coming together of Joey with his former teammates. Joey started at 10 today for Bordeaux, so and he converted their first 4 tries, so it was
good day at the office.
Good day at the office for him, yeah.
You said it earlier, 1991, the last time that Athy were in the final.
Yeah, it was played in the old Curra Rugby Club. Many of the older viewers might remember, it's a long time ago, and they were well beaten. It was a very good Navan team that day. Lovely sunny day, a bit like today, up in the Curra, and it was a very good Navan team who beat Athy that day.
And there's a rare sight. Tullow conceding a penalty at the scrum. And a chance to relieve the pressure. The conditions, though, playing a huge factor in today's game, you feel?
Yeah, I it certainly has. I'm trying to work out who has replaced Tom Brady. Brady had a good game in the line out, and it's number 18 I see, so it's Niall Dunn. So Niall Dunn, who won that line out.
Here's Foley, the captain. Not afraid of contact. Athy are so comfortable on the ball. They use the width again. That looked a bit high. Shane Rowan came flying in there.
Yeah, and he's hurt. He immediately jumped up holding his arm after making that tackle, so it's we're going to have another delay here.
Cathal Fennessy was the man who felt the brunt of that.
Yeah, Fennessy's getting treatment as well, but it was a great tackle by Rowan. Sorry, it was Ryan Jordan, was it 13? Ryan Jordan who made the tackle. So he's certainly in a bit of pain. He's been treated here now, so let's see how he recovers. Again, it's just typical of Athy that once they got a sniff of running the ball, they charged out of defence, and good pass out to.
They're exposing the space on the wings pretty well today.
They are, yeah. They've great speed, and they're using that speed to great effect today.
They're pulling Tullow all over the place. And how important is it that youth come back and play for their for their local clubs, like Niall O'Hanlon there at hooker, fullback as well, Aidan Henry, that they come back for their club Athy and put in a shift, especially in cup campaigns like this.
It's vital that they come back. I mean, they start playing with the club at mini level, and then they go to Newbridge or Clongowes or whatever school they go to, where they play whatever level of rugby they play at, be it SCT or seconds or whatever. But when they're finished, a lot of them come back to the clubs, and the clubs need them. I mean, the clubs were the ones who introduced them initially, so it's great to see the link maintained. So it looks like Brian Jordan is okay.
Culleton with the throw. He delivers it, but it's not straight.
I think we got confirmation at half time that Culleton scored a try, the first try off the driving maul. We were
a hooker special.
A hooker special. We weren't sure at the time. We guessed it was him all right, but we weren't sure.
Always better to be sure.
Yeah. So I see Athy opting for the line-out rather than the scrum for the crooked in.
Niall Dunn did very well in his first line-out take earlier on. They're good again. Dunn again. That time, the pass didn't go to hand, and Tullow can break here. You feel like Tullow need to score at the moment, just for confidence, if nothing else. Cashin, Burgess to his brother. Here's O'Neill, runs out of room. But Athy look like they're over this one, but it's away. Tullow still have. And look at that, get out of my way, he says, Burgess. But Athy's defence, they're stretching across really well at the moment, scrambling to make their tackles. Here's O'Neill, flings one out, but that one's, it looked like it was knocked on, but the referee says play on. And Alan Burgess strolls his way to the try line. And there's shouts of TMO, but I don't know if we have that luxury here today in Kildare RFC.
I think he's had a chat with the touch judge, and he's staying with his decision. So a little bit of controversy here, because from our position it looked like a knock on. He said referee's better position than we are. He said it was knocked back. He's had a chat with the touch judge, and the touch judge has said try. So Adam Burgess with the try that gets Tullow back into it.
Could be a crucial call. This kick will bring it back to an 8-point game. Burgess converts his brother's try. A score made in the Burgess household.
Yes, and certainly there's a lot of loud and angry voices from the Athy side, or the Athy folk on the sideline. They're convinced it was knocked on. Referee said no. Burgess, Alan Burgess, the try score continued. A number of the Athy players stopped. You're always taught play the whistle. They didn't play the whistle. They stopped, and
it just adds an extra bit of bite to this game, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Tullow send it back, but they don't get much on that, and Athy won't mind. But there was a hand in there, so it's going to be a Tullow throw in at the line out.
So the swings are now going the way of Tullow. Just when they seem to be struggling and out of the game, they get a huge break. And now there was a hand on the clearance and a thigh hand, so Tullow have the line out.
Brought down by MacDonald. But Athy have come away with that, I don't know how. Downey. Foley has to act as scrum half. Henry waiting for it. This game has some serious bite now. A big atmosphere brewing. Both sets of fans getting at each other. A big moment. Looks like Owen Farrell's come in at scrum half as well for Athy.
And a big turnover there for Tullow. They defended that well after losing the turnover initially.
And could that try be a momentum shifter?
Certainly a big score, so let's see what happens. And Tullow are back knocking on the door again now. They're inside or on the 22 with this line out. So another score now would certainly get them back into it. And there's plenty of time left. There's only about we're only about 15 minutes into the second half, so a long way to go.
Culleton gets his instructions. MacDonald is the man to go up again. But it's Athy who get the free kick. Closing maybe at the line out there?
Yeah, it looked like it was closing, yeah, because MacDonald had to stretch across, but it was probably because they had closed the gap.
Tullow sends it long and sends it back, but it's out in the full. And that's a good outcome for Athy.
The way this game is going, there's swings and lows, highs and lows, swings and
back and forth.
And this time now it's gone Athy's way. So if Athy can get something on the scoreboard here, it may restore their headspace.
But it's about keeping calm heads now for Athy. They're still in the lead, still where they want to be. And again, the back line, it's purring. And here's Henry, the danger man. Goes infield, inside and outside. Miller controlling things. And Athy get the penalty. And they might take the points here.
Well, it would be the sensible option, but when you're out in that pitch, well,
you can get a rush of blood to the head.
Yeah. Looks like a shot at goal, all right. The touch judges are gone behind the sticks. Farrell is waiting for the tee. He has the tee in his hand, so yeah,
just taking his time. Game management is key in these sort of situations as well.
And the best form of pressure, of course, is scoreboard pressure. So if he can knock this over, it gives Athy a boost.
We'll bring it to an 11-point lead. Straight forward for Farrell.
Yeah, he's kicked very well today, hasn't he, Kieran? Yeah, that's his 5th successful kick out of 6 attempts.
And you wouldn't know he's so young.
And he was barred over by Steve Smith a few minutes ago, and still gets up and kicks the goal. So
old head on young shoulders.
Let's go, lad, let's go.
And what a story that would be. His first year of senior rugby, and getting a tie into a Towns Cup final. Stuff of dreams for the first time in 34 years. And again, 3 in a row from the restart for a tie. And now Tullow trying to move it quickly. But a tie reset. And they go through a gap. Culleton, the hooker, on the edge of the 22 here. O'Neill acting as scrum half. MacDonald, he's hit back. Smith, you can't wrestle the ball off him. Burgess. And a tie have stolen it. And all you have to do is give them a sniff.
I'm not sure who made the tackle. It was a brilliant tackle, and then Carr Donahue, the prop, was there to snaffle the ball. And it was, again, terrific defence by Athy.
They only need a sniff.
That's it.
He's only going to go to your side, Work it. Go on.
Miller does his job. And having a steady head like Miller, who's been there and done that for a tie, must be huge in a game like this.
Can't be an experience. Having said that, the 18-year-old is knocking over the points as well. So it's that nice balance of youth and experience.
The right way to go. Was a bit scrappy, but Athy still have. Sheedy, he's dealt with well. And Tullow come through on it, and they get the penalty. Shouts for off his feet.
I think the problem for Athy was before that, when I think it was James Sheedy was tackled. Was it? Not James, Tom Sheedy was tackled, and he was isolated. I think that's where the problem was initially.
And now Tullow will have an opportunity to get their maul motor in here.
And interesting, they've decided penalty goals are not much use to them at this stage, so down the line they're just inside the 5-22, so let's see what their line-out can deliver now.
They're going to back their pack. MacDonald gets it, and here comes the maul. Smith. But they have another penalty coming up right on the doorstep. And Stephen Smith looked like he was going to score there.
Yeah, and obviously when the ball came back, something happened that the referee went straight back for the penalty, so it looked as if Tullow were going to score. When the referee is given a penalty, it's just outside the Athy 5, and Athy are now under a lot of pressure. They have an 11-point lead. There's about 18 minutes left on the clock, and Tullow are applying the pressure, and they're doing what you'd expect champions to do. They're not giving up their crown without a big fight.
Well, they have that experience. Last 2 years they've won the cup. They know how to drag you into a battle, and they know how to come out on top as well.
They know how to win. Yeah, they sure do. So there's a high player being treated down.
It's not something you could teach. It's just in you, and Tullow have that in abundance.
So, top penalty.
We see this more and more now in rugby union. And it's all about the big men. And here they come, hungry. They can smell the try line. Culleton, the hooker, just short. They're lining up outside, keeping it in tight, and they get the score. And we've got a real game on our hands now.
Yeah, and it's Captain Scott Kalbeck who, on the fourth phase, managed to get over the line. So this is well within range for the kicker for Peter Burgess. So you'd expect the 6-point lead to be down to 4 after this kick. But yeah, the power of Tullow told big time there in delivering that try.
Scott Kalbeck, the captain, stepping up in the big moments, scoring from close range, and 6 points in it, potentially 4 if Burgess can knock this one over. It's a 4-point game, and all of a sudden Athy are in the dogfight.
Yeah, it's a cracking game now. So Burgess with his 4th conversion, that's 4 tries, and it's 32 points to 28. Turning down the penalty goal. Certainly, they got full reward.
Fortune favours the brave.
Yeah, and now we have another water break. So with the second game delayed until 4:15, we're going to have a couple of minutes here while the players get on board some badly needed liquids, because it must be really, really warm out there at the moment.
And Dermot, you've seen some Towns Cup classics in your time. What have been some of your favourite games that have happened in the Towns Cup?
Oh God, now that's put me on the spot. I remember semi-final many years ago in Oakley-Cullen. Before, well, I'm not sure if Oakley-Cullen had joined with Newbridge, with the Curragh at that stage to form Newbridge, but the game was in Oakley-Cullen, and it was Carlow and Naas, and there were 2 cracking teams, and it was an absolutely fantastic game of rugby. I actually can't remember who came out on top, but it was a cracker. It ebbed and flowed. There were 2 really good teams. It was the Carlow team who eventually went on to become AIL. It was the Naas team who eventually delivered a first Towns Cup for them in '95, I think it was. Yeah, there were 2 great teams.
And the game really in the melting pot now. Doesn't get much on that. And Athy still in the right neighbourhood.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see now how Athy bounce back. The last time they conceded a try, they hit back with a penalty goal. So now they need to get something on the board, you would think, to give them sustenance in this final quarter.
They find their man at the line out. Downey. Sheedy on that hard line. Miller working it down this left. Downey. Here's Henry, just short of the 22. Tullow trying their best to slow down this ball. Miller. All the men to the left. Miller pulls the pass. Miller controlling things at the moment. But Tullow's defence looking good. But as I say that, Aidan Henry slices through a gap and he gets a second try. He got the first for Athy and he slides through a gap there to get his second and push it out to a 2-score game again.
Is it a hat-trick for him? I think it's a hat-trick for Aidan Henry. I'll have to check back now, but yeah, whatever it is, whether it's a hat-trick or not, doesn't matter. It was a fantastic try. It was well worked. It was patient, built up by Athy. They worked the ball left, right, and they eventually created space in the middle. Henry, with his searing speed, took advantage and went over under the post, and now all of a sudden it's 37-28 with the conversion to come. Farrell with the conversion, front of the sticks, and he pops it over.
Like a knife through butter.
39-28.
The first one he got, Aidan Henry, and now he's got one in the second half.
Yes, I stand corrected. My enthusiasm got the better of me there. I thought we'd seen a
That's just the Towns Cup fever. That's the Towns Cup fever in you. Yeah. I'll have to check your temperature in a minute.
We've had a number of restarts in the second half from Tullow, and there's been a knock on at every single one of them. That time it was Tullow who knocked it on.
Definitely something they'll have to work on if they're making the final. And again, they go to it, but that's a great tackle from the substitute on Cullen Carberry. But Downey loses it in contact. But Foley, the captain, is there to tidy up, and it's a penalty.
So we've a bit of a lull in play here at the moment, and we have, I reckon, about 10 minutes to go. And I'm sure there'll be injury time. There's been a few stoppages in the second half. Athy have restored their lead, 39 points to 28, 11-point lead, 10 minutes to go. I've noticed that Cullen Carberry seems to have moved out into the back line. He has been replaced. Owen Farrell's gone in. Number 20 has gone in scrum half. But Cullen Carberry seems to have come out at least to outside centre, if not onto the wing. And yes, it's bubbling up nicely now. Pressure on Tullow again.
Anything you can do, we can do better.
Another fine kick by Miller.
Miller, his influence on the game really growing in the last 15 minutes or so. In between 10 and 15 is the general consensus from the crowd. I'm going to say 13. Sheedy takes it well. Foley, always willing. They're going around the corner with their big tight head. Siobani. Miller tries to put it behind, but it's collected and sent back. But again, they can't execute those exits.
Well, it was a great take initially by the Tullow player, but unfortunately for him, he kicked straight into touch. So back we come for a line out to Athy just outside the Tullow 22.
Sliced off the boot. And if Athy were to score here, it could be the killer blow.
You would think so. I mean, an 11-point lead would then become a three-score game. So,
but that's an overthrow. Where's it going to land? Downey goes up for it, but it's going to go to the Tullow side. O'Neill gets it away. James Sheedy rips it away. He's a man on a mission today, James Sheedy.
Wow, he's just having a great battle at the turnover. He's won so many balls, but the ref has gone back for a knock on by Downey at the tail of the line out. He was trying to rescue a ball. It wasn't meant for him, but he couldn't control it. He knocked it on, and now we've a scrum for Tullow. And I see is it Tom Cashin going off.
Cullen Carberry looks like he's in a bit of bother as well on the ground there.
He was carrying a knock, I noticed earlier, and he was playing on, but the referee is going ahead without him.
Had terrible injury problems, similar to his brother.
Well, you would hope his brothers are all behind him. Hopefully Cullen can recover quickly as well. He doesn't look comfortable, but he's going to battle on.
Towns Cup semi-final, you don't want to leave the pitch. And the penalty goes the way of Tullow. That one went straight down by the looks of things.
And the referee was quick to make his mind up there, so I don't understand the people arguing with him.
And the time is now for Tullow, you feel?
Yeah, by my very, very, very unofficial clock, I reckon there's about 6 minutes left. It probably will be a few minutes injury time. There has been a few.
I'd say you're the most official person on this stage here today.
But it's the man in the middle that counts. Not me.
Can Tullow get a score? James Sheedy again with a huge shot. Burgess tries to get them going. Foley wraps him up.
Let's go on.
Hanlon tries his best, but a tie look comfortable at the moment. No cracks appearing. And more big hits going in. Burgess to Cole. They're not really going anywhere at the moment, Tullow. Waters. Burgess thinks about what to do, switches. Tullow used their big men, and Athy get the penalty.
He's the hooker is that time, Niall Hanlon.
That has been the difference today. Athy at the breakdown have been excellent. Out wide, they've been excellent as well.
Yeah, and their defence has been superb, particularly their scramble defence. They have defended really, really feverishly today.
And is the Tullow reign about to come to an end?
There's an injury. There's a Athy player down injured. I didn't think the referee was going to stop it. Now he's heading over there. And while there is a break in play, I've been asked to say hello to Keith and Jean Anderson, who are watching. We think they're watching the live stream of this game in Perth, in Australia. So, I mean, we didn't think this was possible years ago to be able to follow a Towns Cup from the other side of the world. But modern technology is great, and we say hello to Keith and Jean Anderson's from Athy.
And I'm sure they have a smile on their face at the moment. And that's knocked on. Bit of a scramble for that ball, but Tullow have it back. And a penalty advantage. Burgess is screaming for it out here on the right wing. Jordan. And Cole steaming through. Can Tullow get a score? Would really make this interesting.
It was a great tackle by Owen Farrell. Just ankle tapped him.
Peter Stringer special. But we're coming back for the penalty. And Tullow aren't waiting around. O'Neill goes and they have another penalty.
Not back to 10, so there's a free play here for Tullow.
Burgess goes cross field, but he can't find the target. but they have the insurance policy of the penalty. And Aidan Henry took a tumble there.
I think it might be cramp. He seems to be stretching his calf muscle, so hopefully he's seems to be taking his place back at full back. He's had a fantastic game for him.
Alongside James Sheedy.
So I think it looks like Dara Farrell has been sin-binned, has he? I'm not sure, Kieran. Has Dara Farrell been sin-binned?
I'm pretty sure we saw a yellow there.
I
saw a flash of a yellow.
Yeah, I've just counted 14 players on the Athy side. Yeah, so Farrell has been sin-binned. So by my reckoning, we're just heading towards injury time. We're in the last minute of normal time. That looked like a dummy to me.
They have to score here, Tullow. But you called it a dummy throw. And that's a big mistake to make at a time like this.
Well, when you're in the last chance saloon, you can't be affording to make those mistakes. And yeah, that certainly is a big mistake.
And Athy clear their lines, and there can't be long left. The 3-in-a-row dream for Tullow is on its last legs.
Hanging by a thread.
But for Athy, it looks like they're heading to their first Provincial Towns Cup final in 34 years.
Just stolen the line out from Tullow.
And they'll just keep it slow. Manage this one out. Miller high into the sky. All for Tullow to do now.
What a great chase by Athy. I mean, the ball landed on the halfway line, and even though they fielded it, they were stopped dead in their tracks.
Energy levels from minute 0 to minute 80 have been there. Very high. Burgess goes crossfield again looking for his brother, but Aidan Henry has it covered. He kicks it straight into the hands. And that's going to bounce. Which way is it going to go? The right winger cleans it up, but he's under a bit of pressure, is Dave Downey. And Farrell.
Yeah, so one Farrell cleared out to the 22. That was a good clearance because they got into trouble on the far side. The bounce of the rugby ball didn't favour Athy there, but they managed to tidy it up on their own 5-metre line, and Owen Farrell put in the relieving clearance to get the ball out to the 22.
The clock isn't a friend of Tullow. McDonald brings it down. The maul machine in full flow. They need a try, and they need it now. Cole. But Athy have hands on again. Where's the ball? Tullow still have. They're lethal from these sort of positions. Pick and goes, simple rugby, up the jumper. Kalbeck, the captain, already got one. Looking for his second penalty advantage.
Adam Burgess is free over here on this side. They're going the other way.
They go left. And they get it to the wing. And that's a simple try. Jack Hanlon. And is there enough time? Is there another twist in the tail?
The conversion is huge. It's a 6-point game. conversion makes it a 4-point game. It means a try would win it, whereas right now they would need a converted try.
Ryan O'Neill fired that one out. He went left. The kick isn't good. And that's that! For the first time in 34 years, Athy are heading to a Provincial Towns Cup final. For Tullow, the 3-in-a-row dream is dead. Their hands are off the trophy, and we will have a new winner this year. What a cracking game of rugby.
39-33. And you look at that and you say, well, defence must have been absent, but the defences were fantastic. It was just some great rugby by both sides. Really, really enjoyable game of rugby. And that's the first half of the day done. If the second half adds up to anything like that drama, we'll have a great second half. But yeah, great game of rugby.
And we'll be back with you shortly for the second of the semi-finals. Wicklow against County Carlow, but Athy in the final for the first time in 34 years. We'll be back with you soon.